Now listen. So you can write down the heading as permutation. So what do we mean by permutation? Yesterday I told you permutation means arrangements of objects. So if I give you certain objects in your hand, okay, and certain blank spaces, I'll give you certain objects and certain blank spaces in which I ask you to rearrange all those objects. You keep arranging in different ways possible. So if you are able to achieve that kind of a task, that is what is called as permutation. Okay. See, let me read out certain points. In example one of the previous section, we are actually counting the different possible arrangements of the letters of the word rose. R-O-S-C, R-O-E, R-E-O-S. I wrote all the words and showed it to you, right? Here in this list, each arrangement is different from other. That also I told you yesterday, right? So in other words, the order of writing the letters is important. So that's what we are trying to say. So here, what we are going to concentrate upon is the order in which the objects are arranged. Okay. So each arrangement is called as a permutation of 4 letters taken all at a time. Okay. Now let's say the question is like this. Now if we have to determine the number of 3-lettered words with or without meaning which can be formed from the letters of number. So try to understand the objective here. Yesterday when we did the problem which was based on rows, how many lettered words did we find? We tried to form a 4-lettered word out of all the 4 letters that are available. Are you able to understand? So rose was there. Using all the 4 letters that are there in this word, you need to form different words out of it. So you are making use of all the 4 words that you have in your hand. But if suppose I give you a different task like this, like the word, okay, number has how many words, how many letters in it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 letters, right? So using all those 6 letters, I'm giving you a task saying that I want you to form only a 3-lettered word, and you can take any number of letters from the word number. Means, for example, the word ER. If I ask you like this, how many such possibilities are there? How will you answer? Okay, so that is what the objective is. Let's first try to understand it theoretically, then I'll give you the mathematical expression. Listen to me carefully, okay? If there is any doubt, get it clarified. See, yesterday's was 4 different letters taken all at a time. Now, if we determine a number with or without meaning, which can be formed from the letters of the word number, where the repetition of letters is not allowed, we count the arrangements. For example, NUM is there, NMU is there, MUN is there, NUB. Like this, if you keep on writing, then how many such 3-lettered words can you form from the 6 letters that are there in your hand? So if I ask you to solve this problem using the fundamental principle of counting, what will you do? You will give 3 blank spaces. So what do those 3 blank spaces mean? Those 3 blank spaces are the expected 3-lettered words. Right? So if that is going to be the meaning, is there any letter and number that is repeated? Is there any letter that is repeated? N is appearing once, U once, M once, B once, E once, R once. So there is no letter that is repeated. So if that is going to be the case, when you are going to form a 3-lettered word, none of the letters are going to be used again. So that's what they told. Repetition of letters is not allowed. So for example, if N is fixed here, N is fixed only once. The remaining 2 can be filled with remaining 5. That is the meaning. So if I ask you to do it using the fundamental principle of counting, if I ask you to do using the fundamental principle of counting, then the first blank space has how many possibilities? It has 6 possibilities. You can put any of the 6 letters from the word number. If you have used one of the letters from those 6, then how many possibilities will the second one have? Second blank space.
5.
And if you have used one here and one here, how many will be left out?
4.
4. So you can use any of the 6 letters here and means multiplication into 5 into 4. So how many such words can be formed? You can form 120 words. Am I clear? So you can form 120 words out of what? You can form 120 three-lettered words from the letters of the word number. Okay, so that is the meaning of this statement. Okay, are you able to understand? Had the repetition been allowed, then how many words would be formed? So this is without repetition. This is with repetition. You can use any of the 6 letters here. You can use any of the 6 letters here, and you can use any of the 6 here. So 6 into 6 into 6 will give you 260. So you could have had 216 words had the repetition been allowed. Okay. So this kind of a mathematical operation where you're trying to arrange the objects is what is called as permutation. Now let's see what is the definition for it. Okay. So what is permutation? It is an arrangement. It is an arrangement in what? In a definite order. Definite means in a fixed order of a number of objects taken some or all at a time. The meaning of sum is out of the 6 letters number, you have taken some 3 letters. All at a time means, example is rose. You have taken 4 letters and tried to form 4 lettered words. Permutation is an arrangement in definite order object or all. Okay. So now we are going to see how are we going to arrange the permutations. How are we going to arrange when all the objects that are there in our hand are distinct? Distinct means different objects. Okay. So that's what we're going to see. Now observe. Just a minute. Okay. Now see. The task is permutations when all the objects are distinct. Meaning is, this is the theorem number 1. Have this in your mind. So the number of arrangements, permutations means arrangement of n different objects taken r at a time, where r is a number which is greater than 0 for sure. It is less than or equal to n, and you do not have any repetition. Means what is the meaning of this is, how many objects are there? You have n objects in your hand, and you can arrange, you are taking only r at a time, and you're trying to arrange them. Okay, meaning is, I have in those r blank spaces with the n available objects in my hand, I can think of different ways of arranging things such that the whole arrangement is completely distinct. Okay, here I'm not repeating anything. That is the meaning. So that is the meaning of this. The number of permutations of n different objects in R at a time, and the objects do not repeat is. Now let's find it out what it means. Okay. Now you people tell me how many objects can be filled in the first blank space.
N.
So you can fill n. How many objects can be filled in second blank space?
N minus 1.
third blank space, n minus
n minus.
fourth, it will be n minus 3. It keeps on going. In the rth blank space, how many objects can you fill with?
N minus r.
Minus r.
So it is n minus r, right? But that is wrong, because this is the first position, this is the second position, third, fourth, and this is rth position, right? In the first position, you are getting
Minus r minus.
Yes, sir. N minus r minus 1 then.
Is it n minus r minus 1?
n minus r plus 1.
It will be plus 1. Okay, why it is so? Let's see. Okay, listen to me carefully. So it is n minus of, can I write it as 1 minus 1? 1 minus 1 is 0. Right. So this n minus 1, can I write it as n minus of 2 minus 1? Are you guys able to understand? So third position, what did you people tell me? N minus 2. So 2, can I write it as 3 minus 1? Right. So fourth position, observe. With this, I'm going to generalize it for the nth position, rth position. So it is n minus 3. This can be written as n minus of 4 minus 1. Am I right? Is it clear till this step? Now observe one point carefully. When I say first position, it is 1 minus 1. Second position, 2 minus 1. So if you observe every number, what is common? N is common, minus is common, and this minus 1 is common everywhere. Am I right? But what is changing? It is changing as 1, 2, 3, 4. This 1, 2, 3, 4, where do they come from? They come from the position of the object. Is that clear? Is it clear? So if I keep on writing like this, then what will be the rth position that is possible? You need to write it as n minus of, in the place of 4, what should I substitute? R and minus 1. That is the reason why I write it as n minus r plus 1. Is that clear? So in how many ways can you do this? In how many ways? 1 minute. In how many ways can n objects be arranged, taken, this n distinct, okay, n distinct objects that can be arranged, taken r at a time without repetition? In how many ways can you do? N into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into so on till n minus r plus 1. Can I write it like this? Right? Are you guys able to understand till this point? Why did I multiply everything? I used the fundamental principle of counting. Clear? Are you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So this is a formula for?
There is no formula. This is just, it's not a formula and all. It is just an observation, and I've applied from fundamental principle of counting. I've till now taught nothing related to permutation formula. Okay, there is just a multiplication. That's it. This is what you're doing. I wrote it as a statement, mathematical statement. 1 minute. Now listen. Now I'm going to introduce a concept called as factorial. Okay, there is a mathematical term called as factorial. This representative. Okay, that's called as factorial notation. So how do you read it is the notation n, don't read it as exclamatory mark, you have to read it as n factorial or some. Okay, it is not angle. This is angle n. It is written like this, perpendicular, something like this. If it is written like this, that is also another notation for factorial, but in this book they don't use it, so you need not worry about it. Okay, n factorial represents the product of first n natural numbers, means this factorial is applicable only for natural numbers, or I can say positive integers. Product of first n natural numbers, and it is given by the formula 1 into 2 into 3 into so on till n minus 1 into n. This is a very, very important thing for you to understand. Okay, so wherever you see n factorial, where n is a natural number or a positive integer, it can be written as. So remember it like this. Don't remember as 1 into 2 into. Remember it in the reverse order. N into n minus 2 and 1. See, dot represents multiplication. Okay. So n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into 3 into 2 into 1. It keeps on going till 3 into 2 into 1. Are you able to understand? So 2 into 1. 3 factorial will be 3 into 2 into 1. You have to go in the decreasing order, and when should you stop? You should stop with 1. 4 factorial.
4 into 3 into 2 into 1.
Yes. So 1 factorial is 1. 2 factorial is 2 into 1. Sorry, 2 into 1. 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1. 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It keeps on going like this. Okay. If you have factorial, what you can do is see 4 factorial. If you observe, this 3 into 2 into 1 is nothing but 3 factorial. So can I write it as 4 into 3 factorial?
Yes, sir.
This 3 factorial, can I write it as 3 into 2 into 1 is nothing but 2 factorial. Can I write it as 3 into 2 factorial? If that is the case, n factorial I can write as n into the next number to it in the decreasing order is n minus 1. That decreasing order numbers factorial. Or I can write it as n into n minus 1 into factorial. So whichever number you are stopping with, that number is factorial. Or how can I write n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 factorial? Like this, I can think of any possibility, right? So this idea is going to help us to solve the problems, mainly in the next chapter. Okay. So there will be certain places need to create certain values. That time this will be useful. Is there any doubt in this? Are you guys clear with this?
So, sir, can we say for n factorial there are infinite possibilities?
Yeah, it is infinite possibilities. Infinite you cannot say.
But with
How
a
you-
high number,
you say-
lot of numbers.
Yeah, yes, there is a lot. How many possibilities are there? You can write it. Yeah. We cannot exactly define how many possibilities are there. See, if you should always, if you want to experiment like that, you should always take a number and check it. 3 factorial. 3 into 2 into 1. One possibility. 3 into 2 factorial. Second possibility. 3 into 2 into 1 factorial. Third possibility. How many possibilities are there?
So 3 totally.
4 factorial. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. One possibility. 4 into 3 factorial. Second possibility. 4 into 3 into 2 factorial. Third possibility. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 factorial. That is 4. How many?
4, sir, total.
So n factorial will have how many?
N.
N possibility. That's it. It will have n possibilities, not infinite possibilities.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Okay. So this is how you understand factorial. And one important note to be kept in your mind is the proof for this is not required. 0 factorial is 1. Have this in your mind. Okay. 0 factorial is 1. That's it.
Sir,
It can't be proved, sir.
There's the only exception.
Okay, sir.
It is defined
also equal to 1.
for natural numbers. No, but 1 factorial is also equal to 1. 0 factorial is also equal to 1.
Sir, then there are 4 possibilities, no, sir, for 3 factorial.
3 is only 3, no.
We can write 0 factor also as 1, no, sir.
That you don't write, no. Generally, we don't. You see a 0. What is the definition of factorial? I told you already, 0 factorial is an exception. That's it. So 1 into 2 into 3 into so on till n. Is there a 0? If you put a 0 here, everything is meaningless. Okay. So generally, we don't include it. Are you guys able to understand? So that. So now the question is, evaluate 5 factorial. 1 minute. 1 minute. So evaluate 5 factorial. Okay. Solution for the first one. So 5 factorial is what? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So what is this?
5 into 4 factorial.
It is just 120. That's it. See that. See, don't get stuck to this. Okay. N into n minus 1 factorial. Don't get stuck to this. That I told you, which is going to help you solve the problem. If the problem factorial by n minus 1 factorial, they ask you a question like this. Then this one.
Sir, could you repeat the question?
What is the value of by n minus 1 factorial? Out of n and n minus 1, which is bigger number?
N.
N, right? N minus n will get cancelled, answer will be n. That is the reason why I told you this idea.
Okay, sir.
N minus 4, n is rewritten in terms of n minus 1, n minus 4 factor. Whole divided by 4 factorial cancel, so that you're left out with this. That is only for you to have an idea of how to solve the problem. So don't get stuck to it. Whenever they ask to evaluate something, they are asking you the exact value, not in terms of factorial. In a similar way, what is 7 factorial? 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This we have already found, it is 120. So 7 into 6, 42 into 120, whatever is the answer, that will be the
5,240. Thanks.
Sir, if they're asking us 20 factorial means you have to multiply all the things, sir.
Yes, you have to. You can check the this. Every answer will be lakhs also. While solving miscellaneous problems, you have to do that. But it again depends on the teacher. Okay. Generally, for the competitive exams, you need not do all those things because they expect only your final answer. But if your teacher is expecting you to solve everything, you have to do it. No other option. Okay. See, next is 7 factorial minus 5 factorial is, if you write it as 2 factorial, it is wrong.
To subtract the values, correct?
Separately find and subtract, sir.
Yes, you have to do that. So what idea you can use here is 7 factorial, you can write it as 7 into 6 into 5 factorial minus 5 factorial. So here I will take 5 factorial outside, it will be 7 into 6 minus 1. Now 5 factorial can be taken common because that is going to be some value, right? So 120 into 7 into that will be the required answer. Is that clear? So are you feeling a little comfortable to handle factorials? Yes? Shall I proceed to the next part?
Yes, sir.
See, look at the problem here. Solution, first one. 7 factorial divided by 5 factorial is 7 into 6 into 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial. This and this will get cancelled. Answer is 42. Okay?
Yes, sir.
12 factorial divided by 10 factorial into 2 factorial. Looking at the denominator, what idea you are getting? This 12 factorial, you should write it in terms of 10 factorial divided by 10 factorial
Into 2 factorial.
We didn't worry about 2 factorial because it is a small number. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 only because 2 into 1. 10 factorial gets cancelled. If you go 6 times, answer is 66. Clear? Shall I move on to the next one? Solution. Evaluate n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay. Where n is 5. So 5 factorial divided by r is 2. 2 factorial into 5 minus r 2 factorial, that is 3 factorial. So how should I write? 5 into 4 into 3 factorial.
3 factorial.
By 2 into 3 factorial, this and this will get cancelled. This and this will get cancelled. Answer will be 10. Are you guys able to understand? So we are doing problems only based on factorial. Let's master. Going to the next one. So solution here is 1 divided by 8 factorial plus 1 divided by 9 factorial is equal to x divided by 10 factorial. Find the value of x. Okay. Here it is not easy for us to take LCM because you have a factorial, right? So out of 8 factorial, out of 8, 9, 10, obviously 8 is the smaller number. So what we need to do is 1 by 8 factorial, leave it as it is. The bigger numbers can be written in terms of the smaller numbers factorial. Means you can write it as 9 into 8 factorial. X divided written as 10 into 9 into factorial. So what gets cancelled out? If I take out 1 by 8 factorial outside, it will be 1 plus 1 by 9 is equal to x 8 factorial
10
into 10 into 9. This and this will get cancelled. So if I take LCM, 10 divided by 9 is equal to x divided by 10 into 9. 9 and 9 will also get cancelled.
X equal to 100.
X is equal to.
Sir, what is 10 into 9, sir?
90.
No, sir. Why it only 8 has factorial symbol, sir?
Because it is 8 factorial. That's what I have been telling them. You have to look at the smaller number. I want 8 factorial to be common. Out of all the factorials you have, you need to look for the number which is having the smaller factorial. So whichever is bigger, that bigger factorial should be written in terms of smaller factorial. For example, 9 is written in terms of 8 factorial like this. 10 is written in terms of 8 factorial like this. So that 8 factorial gets cancelled out and you're left out only with numbers, which is easy to handle. Okay. Moving to the next one. So evaluate 8 factorial, guys. Solution. 8 factorial will be 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. If you're able to remember what is 7 factorial, you just need to multiply that with 8. I think there was a problem which was based on 7 factorial. Multiply that with 8, that will give you the answer. First. Second, 4 factorial minus 3 factorial. How should I write? 4 factorial should be written as
4 into 3 factorial.
minus 3
Minus
factorial.
3
So 3
factorial.
factorial, if you take out 3 factorial, with 3 factorial into 3, 3 factorial is how much?
18.
Why is it 18? It's 6. Oh, 6 into 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole thing is 18. Yeah.
Yes.
Shall I go to the next one? So is 3 factorial plus 4 factorial equal to 7 factorial? You can try and see it will not be the same. 3 factorial is 6. 4 factorial is 24. This is definitely not equal to 504. The answer is no, and this is the proof. Okay. Moving to the next one. Now tell me how to solve this. Solution is, so 8
8 into
factorial
7 into 6 factorial
by
divided
6
by 6 factorial into 2.
Yes, this and this will get cancelled. So
28,
8 into
sir.
7
Final
divided
answer.
by 2. Yeah, 28.
28.
So 28 will be the final answer. That's it. Okay. Moving on to the next one. You guys solve this and tell me.
$64, sir. Answer.
64.
I got 64, sir.
1 by 6 factorial by 1 by 7 into 6 factorial is equal to x divided by 8 into 7 into 6 factorial. It get cancelled. 8 by 7 is equal to 1x divided by 8 into 7. This and this. Yes, that's right. So x will be 64. So, see, I'm giving you like a formula. If it is 1 by n factorial plus 1 by n plus 1 factorial plus 1 by n is equal to x divided by n plus 2 factorial, then the value of x will be n plus 2 to the whole square. Because, see, it's just an observation, okay? There's no formula is given anywhere. For example, there's n plus 1 and n plus 2. So what was the answer?
10 square.
So that was n plus 2 the whole square. In a similar way, I observe there's n plus 1 and n plus 2 exists above n plus 2. So the answer will be n plus 2 square. That is where you got 64. So if suppose I give you a question like this, 1 by 5 factorial plus 1 by 6 factorial is equal to x by 7 factorial. Answer will be
49.
49. So this, you can use it for verification, for your knowledge, that's it. Okay, but in the exam, you're supposed to do the whole process. Don't use shortcuts. Okay. Fifth one, n factorial by n minus r factorial. It will be 6 factorial divided by 4 factorial.
Sir, can you show the
So that
previous?
will be 6 into
5 into 4 factorial. 30.
yes. Similarly, n is 9. 9 factorial by 4 factorial. 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 factorial divided by 4 factorial. This and this will get cancelled. Multiply the whole thing, that will give you the answer. That part I'm leaving it to you. So with this, the 7.2 is over.
Sir, can you show that 1 by n plus 1 factorial? That's when I didn't note it down, sir. Above, sir. Yes, sir. This one, sir. This one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Done. So with this exercise is over. Now what we will do is, now I'll give you the formula for permutations. I'm going to derive it. Derivation of the formula NPR. There is a formula called NPR. Means, see, there no n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 so on till n minus r plus 1. This whole thing is called as NPR. The meaning of this is, this expression, instead of every time writing it as n into n minus 1 so on till n minus r plus 1, you can replace it with the formula NPR, where P stands for permutation. The meaning of this is, so when I write it as NPR, the meaning of this is, n objects are taken and r distinct arrangements are made. So out of the n available objects, if I ask you to make r different arrangements, how can you do it? Because NPR. Are you guys able to understand? Why that n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 so on till n minus r plus 1 is NPR? I will derive it. Did you understand what is this? This means this is a formula for permutation of n objects taken r at a time without repetition. Am I clear? Permutation of n objects taken r at a time without repetition. Is that clear? Shall I proceed? See. Now what I'm going to do is, this part is there now. I'll duplicate this page. Wait. So did you guys understand this part? Is there any doubt? This n into n minus 1 so on till n minus r plus 1, why it is so? I hope that is clear, right? Are you guys there or not? I'm not getting any response.
Yes, sir.
So it is clear till this step. And what they are trying to say in the textbook is, this is what is called as NPR. Why it is so, we will see. Okay. Then what is going to be the formula for NPR going forward? Right. So this n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 so on till n minus r plus 1 is NPR. Right. See, it's starting with n and it is going till n1 in the decreasing format. Each number, each subsequent number is getting decreased by a factor of how much value? So it started with, it is getting decreased by a value of 1.
1.
So n minus 1, the difference is 1. N minus 1, n minus 2, the difference is 1. So n minus r plus 1. So what will be the next term for n minus r plus 1? So from n minus r plus 1, if I subtract 1, what will I have?
N minus R.
It is only n minus r because 1 and 1 will get cancelled. From n minus r, if I subtract 1, how much will I get?
N minus R minus 1.
Right. So don't get confused between n minus r minus 1 and n minus r plus 1. Okay. What is the next term for n minus r minus 1?
N minus R minus 2.
So it keeps on going till 1. So what I've done is I have multiplied in n minus r till 1 and I'm compensating it with n minus r minus 1, so on till 1. Are you able to understand what I did? See, this is this expression still that is going to exist. To this expression, I multiplied and divided with some numbers, with the same quantity of numbers. Right? Are you clear with this? So, if there is something that is starting with n and the numbers are getting multiplied subsequently till the last number is 1, what is the term called as? Meaning is, if suppose I have 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, okay, it is like this, okay, observe this, 2 into 1, okay. Can I call this as 6 factorial?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Why?
The 3 is not there, sir.
3 is missing. No? So what I'm doing is I am multiplying with 3 and dividing with 3, then I can write it. So just like how I multiplied and divided with 3 to balance something to write in terms of factorial, I did the same thing here also.
Sir,
This n minus r till 1 and this n minus r till 1, I just multiplied and divided just to balance it. Okay. By writing it in this format, what can I say about n into n minus 1 into so on till 1? A number is starting with n and it is going on till 1, even without one number missing between them. What is it called as? It is called that number's factorial. So what will the numerator be? It is n factorial. Am I right? Divided by, you observe the denominator is starting with n minus r, it is getting decreased by 1 in the subsequent numbers and the product is going till 1. So what is this thing called as? What is the denominator called as?
So could you repeat the question?
The denominator starts with n minus r, it's multiplied with n minus r minus 1. The next term would have been n minus r minus 2. It is kept on multiplying with decreasing factors till 1. So what will this whole thing be called as?
N minus R
In fact,
That's it. It is called as n minus r factorial. But what are we trying to do? This is what is NPR. I told you, NPR is nothing but this thing. To this expression, I multiplied and divided with certain terms to bring in some manipulation such that this NPR has got a new formula now, which is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Are you able to understand?
What is R, sir, here?
R is some number. I told you, R is R objects taken at a time without repetition. You have n distinct objects. Out of the n distinct objects, if you're taking R at a time, then this is going to be the formula. Okay. Now listen to me carefully. You will get an idea of where to apply this. You remember this problem? Let me explain this problem, then you can solve it. So from the letters of the word number, you need to take you need to form a 3-lettered word without repetition. Am I right? So how did you do? 1, 2, 3. 3 blank spaces. The first blank space can be filled in
6, 5, 4.
this is 120. So if I ask you, what method did you use here to solve the problem? So what is the method that you have used here? This is called as
Fundamental.
principle of counting. So this is what you have used. Okay, accepted. Now I'm going to say that the same problem can be solved using this formula also. So the meaning of this is, you have n objects in your hand. With respect to this problem, how many objects do you have in your hand? How many
6.
objects? How many? I've given you 6 objects. What are 6 objects? N, U, M,
U, M,
B,
B,
R.
R.
So I've given you 6 objects. Out of the 6 objects, I'm asking you to arrange. Arrangements P, permutation. I'm asking you to arrange such that how many lettered words are being formed?
3.
So that 3 is what is R. So what is 6p3 according to this formula? It will be 6 factorial divided by
3
6 minus,
factorial.
that is 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial. But how can you write 6 factorial? 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. This and this will get cancelled. Still the answer is 120. Are you able to understand where to use this formula?
Yes, sir.
Means what I'm trying to say is the first chapter, the first exercise also you can solve using this formula. For example, let's take this problem. Okay, let me take this problem. Given 5 flags of different colors, how many different signals can be generated if each signal requires the use of 2 flags? So how many objects did I give you?
5.
5.
5 objects. In those 5 objects, how many arrangements? So generated here means how many things can be formed. So the keywords for permutation is so where to use P is permutation is when you see the word arrangement, when you see the word formed, when you see the word generated, or when they directly tell you how many permutations are possible. These are all the keywords. Okay. So here I've given you 5 flags, so 5 objects, out of which how many arrangements should be made? How many objects should be considered?
2 flags.
2 flags. So 5p2. What is 5p2? It is 5 factorial divided by
5 factorial minus 2 factorial.
5 minus 2 factorial. It is not 5 factorial minus 2 factorial. It is 5 minus 2 factorial. So this will be nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 factorial divided by 3 factorial. This and this will get cancelled. Answer will be 20. That's what we got yesterday using fundamental principle of counting. Are you able to understand? So there is a meaning. Shall we solve few problems? (7.3). Listen. Find the number of permutations of the letters of the word Allahabad. Oh, this is with repetition. I have to explain what is with repetition also. So this NPR formula, whatever I told you, is applicable only without repetition. Okay. For example, theorem 2, this also make a note of. The number of permutations of n different objects taken are at a time with repetition. Okay. So the number of permutations of n different objects taken are at a time with repetition means how many blank spaces you have? R blank spaces. So in those R blank spaces, how many objects can I think of dropping? So first box, how many can I think of dropping? I can drop any of the n objects. Second one, since repetition is allowed, in the second box, how many will I drop?
N.
N.
Third, n. Like this, how many times am I going to drop?
R time.
R times.
R times.
The answer will be n into n into n into so on. R times. Answer will be n power r. Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's what happens. This is theorem number 2. Okay. So permutations when all the objects are not distinct, this point alone I'll explain tomorrow. Okay, we will do problems which are having only distinct values. For example, you take this problem. In this problem, if you see, A is repeated 4 times, L is repeated twice. Yes. So those are repeated. So the objects are not completely distinct. There are some objects which are repeated also. How to handle them, that I'll explain tomorrow. Let's try a few problems which are distinct. Okay, distinct and repetition is allowed or not allowed. That's it. So how many 4-digit numbers can be formed by using the digits 1 to 9 if repetition is allowed? So you can solve the problem using the fundamental principle of counting. So 4 digits, so 4 blank spaces, 9 into 8 into 7 into 6. Right? So 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 will be the answer. If you want to use permutation, because the word formed is there, formed is permutation. How many objects you have in your hand?
9.
Number of blank spaces.
4.
So how can you write it? Number of 4-digit numbers possible. N 9 P 4. That is 9 factorial divided by 5 factorial. 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 factorial. The whole divided by 5 factorial. This and this will get cancelled. 9 into 8 into 7 into 6. The same thing. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So I'm moving to the next problem. So I'll do problems which you can solve as of now. 11th one I'll solve tomorrow. Find the value of n such that np5 is equal to 42 times np3. So np5 is n factorial by n minus 5 factorial is equal to 42 into np3 is n factorial by n minus 3 factorial. Right? So n factorial is gone. Out of n minus 5 and n minus 3, which is bigger?
N minus 3.
N minus 3 is bigger. So bigger one, you should try to write it in terms of smaller one. So it will be n minus 5 factorial is equal to 42 divided by n minus 3 into n minus 4 into n minus 5 factorial. This and this will get cancelled, which implies n minus 3 into n minus 4 is equal to 42. So n square minus 7n plus 12 is equal to 42. So n square minus 7n minus 30 equal to 0. So 30 I can split it as 10 and 3. So n square minus 10n minus plus 3n minus 30 is 0. So n minus 10 into n plus 3 equal to 0, which implies n is equal to or minus 3. Which one should I eliminate?
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Sir,
Because n should be a natural number.
sir, from where, sir, n minus 4 and n minus 5 came?
Where
From where n minus 4 and n minus 5 came, sir?
n minus 4, n minus 5.
Yes, sir.
This is the formula. NPR is n factorial by n minus r factorial.
Yes, sir. In the question they are asked 42 into n factorial divided by n minus 3 whole factorial, you know, sir. From where n minus 4 and n minus 5 came, sir?
This one.
No, sir, above step, sir. 42 by n minus 3, n minus 4 to n minus 5.
N minus 3 factorial, I wrote it as n minus 3. What will be the next number of n minus 3? That will be n minus 4. What will be the next number of n minus 4? N minus 5. I am writing it as n minus factorial and stopping with it. Because I have n minus 5 factorial here, that will get cancelled.
Sir, so the next number means you have to subtract 1, sir.
Yeah, you have to. Yes, no. N minus 3. What will be the next number? Next number means decreasing order. N minus 3 minus 1. That is n minus 4. So from n minus 3, you have to subtract 1. From n minus 4, you have to subtract 1. That will be n minus 5. So you should look for bigger one. Bigger one, you should try to write it in terms of smaller one. Okay. So this is how you solve the problems. The problems with repetition I will teach you tomorrow. Just a minute, don't leave.